Oh man, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, I'm laughing because we talking
Hey,
behind the scenes. Got light skinned Lou, Melinda, Tony, my same panel as always. I'm flashing pictures, that's why we laughing. I can't show y'all the pictures though.
Yeah, please don't.
I'll put
Ain't
the
nobody ready for that.
so what's going on, y'all?
nothing much.
Not much.
What's up? What's up, ladies?
Hey,
As usual, it's good to see y'all. How y'all been? How things going?
this been
Good.
a
How
good
you?
week. How you doing?
I'm doing
Lou on
good.
vacation. Everybody should meet up in Atlantic City this weekend.
That's
Wait a
right. I'm
minute.
Let's
going.
do it.
I'm all for it, man. I'm ready for my toes to hit to a different zip code. You understand?
You know,
I'm tired of this zip code. I want to move to another zip code. How about
I
that?
know that's right.
okay, so today I ate at a restaurant for the first time indoors.
You did?
Okay.
Yeah, but it was early, so it was empty
That
because
always
I'm still
And
cautious.
yeah,
guess
you
what
gotta
else
be.
going on, everybody who's watching? Light skinned Lou got his first COVID shot. Let's give him a hand. Look, he still got the band-aid on.
I know that's
Hey,
right.
hey,
Look
look.
here, Tony. I still support you. I still support your
Thank
decision.
you, honey. Thank you.
Hey, hey, look. Let me tell you, man. When I first went, I went to Walgreens out the street, right? So I'm gonna give y'all a little scenery, before we go on. You know, I remember as a kid when I knew we had to get shot. It was like a phase that I had to go to get right and get ready. Why that
That's right.
phase come back 40 years later? 40 years later, that phase come back. I got up. I was like, damn, like I gotta get right. I can't be scared. I ain't never scared. Pumping myself up. So I'm driving. I'm listening to DMX on. I'm like, yeah, I'm hyped. Man, I get in that joint, man. It's a little needle. I'm like, boo. I thought it was gonna be a big joint. I'm bracing myself like it's gonna be a big joint. Man, he shot that little joint there. He was like, okay, see you on the 28th. The second one. I was like, that's it. He was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, cool. Man, 5 hours later, man, I felt like somebody just put my arm in a chopping block, man.
Stop crying like a baby.
Like skin
So I got a
over
shot
here,
today
man. I'm over
too.
here hurt, man. Oh, you got your
Oh
second one?
well.
No, I had already got my second one, but I got the Shendrix for shingles. Once you get like 450, they start telling you should get that too. So I got my little band-aid.
Man. Let
I
me
ain't getting
find
nothing else.
that.
If it ain't no you shot make me live forever, I don't want it. So let's get started, baby.
Let's go.
Lou, that will get me pumped better than baby. You could give it to me.
I
That
like the other one.
No, I like that
which
one.
one you like?
I like I like
Hey, let the people pick it.
All right,
Like
you
right,
see
put
that
it to
one.
a vote.
right.
All right, here the other one.
You know I got it. If you give it to me, I'll give it to you. And I know what you want. You know I got it, baby. If you give
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
see
think I
that?
like
You
that
see
one.
this joint?
Oh
I'm ready to
my
turn up after
God.
that joint, man. I'm ready to
That
turn
will
up
get you
after that one,
pumped.
man.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
ready to talk some mess when you hear that
We
one.
giving it to you just the way
Oh
you
my
want it.
God.
Yes.
I'm ready to
All
get to
right,
it.
y'all. Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Rebuttal Entertainment. Today's topic, what's happening in America. I got my panel here. I got some hard questions for them. I got some irritating questions for them. I got the question going to make them laugh. That always the last question, but I will start with the irritating question first. But I like making Melinda scream a little bit in the about 7th or 8th question. You know what I mean? But let's get this thing started. Two dead, 20 injured in Florida. Club shooting. Clubs and house parties. When and do you guys ever plan on attending a club and house party at your age? Should it stop? Melinda?
House party, yes, because the people I deal with, they ain't doing no shooting and they don't know nobody to shoot nobody. Our age ain't really doing stuff like that. It's like the younger generation. I think we kind of safe. And then, I go to 14th and Park, so that's like for the older, more upscale. Ain't no shooting going on downtown DC. So it's sad, and I hope that trend don't get bigger, and I hope they, shut that stuff down. The community need to start saying something, because you shouldn't be just partying and then lose your life like that. It's like you can't even go outside. So we have to shut that down, because we have to be able to have a good time without worrying about certain things. But our generation, we partying safely. We not beefing with nobody that's gonna come through with no automatic weapon and try to mow everybody down. So I think we pretty safe.
All right, Tony, you plan on attending house parties and clubs?
I don't go to clubs in any type of club setting. It's usually like a jazz restaurant type of thing, or house parties are usually close family members and friends. I don't do parties outside of my normal group, so I don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lou, what's going on? You look like the party animal, man.
Yeah, I look like it, but I ain't about to be partying. I'm like Melinda Tony. It's all about the party. It's about the company. Like, I'm not, like, if I say, look, I'm throwing a house party and I invite the whole panel to Rebuttal Entertainment, we over here, we doing grown and sexy stuff. You know, we listen to Frankie Beverly. We not doing all that young stuff. You know what I'm saying? We two-step, worried about two-stepping. We ain't worried about who looking at us or who beefing, this, that. That's for them young people. We on outgrown and sexy at this age time in our life, man. I'm not going to no house party with no youngsters or none of that. So I think that's where the problem, resides at, is with the younger crowd. I'm not discriminating against, talk bad about the younger generation, but the proof is in the pudding. It's usually the younger crowds where things always go wrong. People get injured, people get killed. So for me, I'm partying with people who I got a great deal of admiration and respect for. I'm not about to be going to no house party. If it's a house party, it's gonna be something that I throw where I can control whether or not who's coming. Because there's always that one person, that crazy person you bring in with you, and you can't account for them and what they will and won't do. So for me, I just go with the people who I genuinely hang out with. So yeah.
Yeah, I understand, man. So much stuff been happening. People been getting shot at these clubs and house parties, man. It's just crazy, man. I don't even see how people go to them anymore. I don't go to 'em. I feel I'm too old for them. If I ain't going out of town or something like that, y'all keep that club and house party stuff, man. So now in the States, man, it's like last 2 weeks, 12 mass, well, not mass shooting, but shooting at a house party or club. So it is what it is. You got to think twice about that.
Choose your
So
company wisely.
yeah. So Coast Guard suspend search for 10 missing Cuban and the boat collapsed. Right, the boats went over and it turned over, and they risking their lives. You know what I mean? So should America feel some kind of way for these Cubans and people trying to come over to America, risking their lives, and they dying? What should they do about it to help them, or just keep them where they at? Is there more things they can do? Because everybody want to come to America now, but I don't know why.
I'll go first
Let,
on that
let's
one.
go with Lou.
It's hard to say, man, because you're not living in their shoes, man. It's a lot. You got to think about the situations that they're dealing with to motivate them to come over here. Usually, if you it's not that you didn't mention Mexico, but I mean, just think about what they're going through, the gang wars and everything that's going on. So they're more motivated to get here. Same thing in Cuba. They got a lot of stuff going on over there to where they want to come over here. So for us, it's hard, man. It's hard to say. I mean, this is one of the questions where you really can't answer it the right way because you never know what that individual is dealing with, what their motivation is to get over. You know, it's got to be something. If you're willing to drown to come over here, then you got to know that the motivation to get over here is very it's serious. So for us, man, we just gotta, I guess, huddle up and try to find out what's the best way to deal with it. Because guess what? It's not going anywhere. This problem is this stuff is happening as we speak right now because people want to who don't want to go to a better life,
Yeah,
and they feel like getting over here is their freedom.
yeah.
So for me, it's just like we just got to get a game plan together, man. Really, I don't know how to answer that one, but I could just speak for the intel that I see on TV, man. So that's
But
how I see
but
it.
Tony, is it worth them risking their life to come to America?
it's a catch-22. And I say that because when I was in Havana, Cuba a few years ago, I really cried at how these people live. They're still under the government law and they have to get permission for everything. Even if they want to go visit another country, they have to save up $150 for the application. And if the government decides that they're not going to approve it, they're out of $150. So a lot of times we may look at it as, why don't you try to do better for yourself if you know that there's better? They are trying to keep them locked in that box, so to speak, so they don't know what's outside of their country. So if you don't know that there's something better out there for you, you probably will stay in your country. But if you've seen other people outside of your country or they talk to you about what's going on in their country to possibly have a better opportunity, yeah, I guess you would try to risk your life and to get to something better. It's very sad and unfortunate, but the fact is, I don't know what we can do as a country to help them because, again, they have to get, they're probably escaping because they don't have the $150 to get here. And again, if their government does not approve the application, they lost $150, and that's enough money to feed their family for the month.
Yeah, Melinda, migrants are losing their lives trying to get to America. Is America worth losing your life to get here?
Absolutely not. Look at what we're going through. Look at the question we just asked about. Slowly but surely, our country is turning into those countries where it's complete country rule. They're taking away our voting privileges. They're making all kind of laws to restrict us where we can't move around freely. And truth be told, we can't leave the country without a passport. And that passport usually costs a certain amount of money. And if you don't have that money, you can't go nowhere either. Now, do I fault them for trying to come here? No. If you feel like you can have a better life, people do everything that they need to do to give their children a better life or whatever. And that was what they told us America was built on. Bring your huddle masses, and this is the melting pot. And they lied about that. And then when people actually tried to do it, it's like, no, stay over there. And then they freely let certain countries in without hesitation or problems. But if you Haitian, if you're Cuban, if you're, some other ethnicity that is of color, then we have to be coming in and sneaking in and drowning and all kind of stuff, because they just get to come over and they get asylum and they get all kind of stuff and they get assistance. But when you are a people of color, you have to come through the back door and you got to do all kind of stuff. No, I don't fault them for trying to make a better life, because if I was under certain conditions here in the United States, like if I live in a bad area, I'm going to do everything I need to do to get my daughter and myself out of that bad area. So I understand where they're coming from with that. And sometimes getting yourself out of a bad area in America will also cost you your life. So we like the question you asked a few weeks ago, are we like Donald Trump? And I said yes, because a lot of the things that we say, we're just not conscious of what we're saying. But if we're saying, no, you shouldn't come over here because we got our own problems, we're saying the same thing. But then we freely, people with money, such as myself, such as anybody that wants to travel, we go over to their country and we travel. I wish it was a situation where we could cooperatively make their country better so they wouldn't have to take them kind of risks, or make a better situation where they can come here without having to risk their lives. But this is what it is. It's like, how do I get over here? And then sometimes they get over here and they get the worst possible treatment, after they come here. And, I heard stories and talked to people where they were like, hey, we lived in another country and we were doctors and lawyers. We came over here, we cleaning toilets. That's sometimes their reality. So sometimes that American dream that they crossed the border for and did risk everything. They're risking everything. And then they still don't get that American dream that was promised, because some of us that was born here don't get that American dream that we was promised. So as Tony said, it's a catch-22. It's like, let's take the risk and take a chance. It's a gamble coming.
Yeah. I understand. It's a transition, but I don't think right now I will be trying to get to America because what America is going through right now, we're going through a lot. We're going through a transitional phase right now. Republican, Democrats, Supreme Court, everybody arguing against each other, and you think they're going to give a damn about some migrants from Cuba that don't even belong here? It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So, this is me, in my opinion. Of course, you'll want to better your life for your family, but I just wing it out if you can. But not, hey, you can't tell nobody what to do to try to make a better life for them and their family. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a risk you take. You know what I mean? Kids die and stuff like that. But the risk is right now to me. The risk is not worth the reward. So I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? But hey, everybody do things differently. But I wouldn't do it. So let's go to the next question. American worker shortage. They say it's an American worker shortage, and it's real, and it's getting worse. Melinda, what can we do to resolve the American worker shortage?
Give people a living wage. People, what people realized during the pandemic was they were treated badly before. They already knew that because sometimes you have to get two jobs in order to live a mediocre life, just to pay normal bills. And if you have a job that's minimum wage, you can't get a regular apartment. Not even talking about a luxury apartment. I think a minimal apartment, just the basics, is $1,000. So by the time you do all that and you try to put some food on the table or whatever, you can't do it. So people are starting to realize that, and there's some foolishness about them talking about something. Well, we gave them $300. $300 does not keep you from working. But understanding that after the pandemic, how they used you as guinea pigs, because they were like the essential workers, and we was clapping them up and everything else, and they were like, "Well, can we get $15?" They were like, "Nah, though, nah, we can't do that." So when they start realizing how much they're underappreciated, and they're like, I need to make a better way. I need to find something better. And you're gonna stop just throwing scraps at me and thinking that's okay. So that is the problem than anything else. It's not people trying to stay on the unemployment or whatever, because truth be told, they paid into that unemployment. And if they want to stay on it, they should be able to get their money back. We're the only place that we get to pay into something and they hope we don't get it back. Just like life insurance. We pay life insurance and the companies hope you won't never die and you just pay forever. And then when you die, they're like, but how did you die? What did you die? We need to investigate before we can give you your money. You ain't investigate where I was getting my money from when I was paying you.
For
So
20, 30 years.
yeah, so it's all these little situations where people are starting to open their eyes, starting more so now than ever, finding out how politics works, how somebody that, just gave themselves a raise ain't
Hmm.
hardly working. And then when they supposed to be doing something, they take off, they talking about something, we got a weekend off, and people are hungry and starving or whatever. And we're starting to, as a country, the lower level that, don't make billions of dollars or millions. People made billions of dollars during the pandemic. But then they're like, no, we can't give y'all $15 an hour. And then they mad because people are like, well, if y'all can't treat me with respect and dignity, I ain't coming back. That's like you working a bad job. Your boss is, telling you crazy stuff every day. And then you're like fed up and you're like, no, I'm not even coming back. They have people that need their job and quit their job before pandemic situation happened. So now that you have added a whole disease that you can get, it's like, why am I risking my life for minimum wage? And then these
Yeah.
people are disrespectful. Imagine all that happened during the pandemic. You had some fool come up to you when you tell them to put your mask on, they want to fight you. A couple of people lost their lives because they worked in a grocery store somewhere and they was like, hey, ma'am, could you put it on your mask? It's the rule. Now the sign is clearly on the door. But they want to get this person that has minimum wage and made no laws and just saying, hey, ma'am, could you, their employer told them to do that. Meanwhile, they're getting billions of dollars. This person that's getting, the minimum wage is having to hold down the whole nation. you know, they was getting COVID left and right because why we was, you know, sheltering and we wasn't leaving the house. They was actually still in the stores taking care of us so that some person can come in there and tell them, I ain't wearing no mask, you're not the boss of me. And then they're like, well, that's our policy. And half of the time these people have to police the people that come into their stores. They have to tell them the rules and the laws, even though they don't make it. And then people get mad at them and take it out on them. So at the end of the day, are you willing to go back to all of that after they done put you at risk and then told you ain't even worth $15? That's why they have a shortage. Now, if they pay people and then give them some respect and some security, they're
Yep.
not getting insurance, they're not getting nothing. They just surviving, and then they're like, for what? You
Yep.
know, and we got a break for a minute with, you know, unemployment. We got a break for a minute where, you know, the landlord ain't coming after, and that's going to stop. All of that's going to stop in a minute. But they was like, I got a break so that I can live a decent life and be with my family for a second. And then they realized I deserve better than this. That's
Yep.
why I said I don't know why people want to come over here, because we living just as bad. It's just not as evident.
That's bad.
But when you have to sit and put up with all that stuff and you can barely make it, and look how many homeless people we have, we're not doing well as a country.
Not at all. Tony, the American shortage, real, getting worse. People ain't going back to work. How can you resolve it?
The only way that it can be resolved is, like Linda said, you have to respect these people, pay them more money, and offer them some type of benefit to come back and treat them like they are valued. Um, you're offering bonuses for people to return to work. But the fact of the matter is, some of them are making more money from unemployment than they were working a minimum wage job. So you have to be able to find some type of balance and meet them halfway to get them back to work. It's you know, it's unfortunate that it took a pandemic for people to realize how undervalued and unappreciated they were.
Lou, what's going on? How can we get them back to work?
Man, make it more feasible. Like Tony and Melinda said, man, make it more feasible, because you got to look at it. If you have a choice to choose whether or not, you know, you can stay home and be safe, don't have to worry about the disease, the COVID-19, and make more money, guess what choice you're going to make? You stay at home. So it's up to the employers to make it more feasible for you to come back. And I know it's not a position that they want to be in, but if you look at it, it's the only one that the decision that they can make. Because like you say, the shortage is here. And it's here because people rather sit home with their kids. You got to think about it. They're home with their kids, able to school, homeschooling is going on. So it's more feasible for them to stay home. Why am I going to go to work when I can sit home with my kids and actually make more money sitting home doing the right thing with my family than going to work and risking my life? So for me, they just got to make it more, they got to make it more feasible, man. It's that simple.
Yeah, they're making more money sitting on at home on their ass, and hey, I understand why am I gonna come back risk getting COVID and for you guys who want minimum wage is $9 an hour. You know what I mean? Now some of the people are starting to jump up to the plate, step up to the plate. You know, $15 an hour minimum wage. Some of the stores like Walmart and some other stuff like Chipotle and stuff like that. But you need more than that. You know what I mean? That ain't gonna help them. You know what I mean? But you know, they already. You know what else they doing? They stopping some of the Republican states are pulling away the unemployment that Biden put down on them. So that's one way to make them get out and try to find a job. But where are the jobs? Are jobs available? I ain't even seen a job report. You know what I mean? I don't know what's available, what's not available. But these people so in a rush try to get these people back to work. We said this. I'm trying to stop cursing because Lou mother is watching, so I'm trying to watch my mouth a little bit. You know what I mean? But we said it last week. You know what I mean? But come on, y'all. We got to step up to the plate. If you want these people to come back to work, raise the minimum wage, give them incentives to come back to work. Who in the hell will come back to work for $9? I mean, come on, man. That's America. And I just said, people, they killing themselves to come to America. America's not what it was. You come to America, you don't get one of them little slave jobs like y'all doing well. I hate to say it, the country that you're in now. Like Melinda said, you leave that country, a doctor, putting leaves down, raking leaves here. You know what I mean?
But you
What
know
the hell
what?
does America stand for? You know what I mean? But
In Cuba,
it is what it is. Go ahead, Tony.
in Cuba, they only make $50 a month. So coming to America would be beneficial to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, $9 would be wonderful for them to make an hour versus $50 that month.
Oh man. Oh well, it is what it is, man. So we just found out, Melinda, there's another ransomware attack. You know, so are we gonna ever stop these ransomware attacks? Do we have any smart people in the United States of America can solve this damn problem? I mean, they say Russia was in on it again. What can we do? What consequences can we set to Russia? We know it's them. You know what I mean? Ransomware when they hold your system hostage until you pay the ransom. So is there anything we can do, we're going to do? We say we're the smartest people in America. Are we?
We haven't been the smartest people in a minute. Um, because we were so focused on making money that we wasn't getting into technology and all the things that was required to make us the smartest people in the country. We are I think America right now is a country of workforce. We just workers. We not innovating anything anymore. We're not creating anything anymore. We're just working the system. It's like we get a job. That's why we in the position we are now, because they forcing us to get a job, but then we don't have a good education because the education system is some garbage. So, the schools, the elementary schools and the junior high school and the high school where, you will be starting the STEM programs, which is part of, making us smart enough to ward off cyber attacks. We're not getting into those anymore. There's a push to try to get us back into STEM, but the other countries, they've been developing STEM for the longest time. So their stuff is protected, and their people, there is not just the workforce. They're working smarter. We're working harder. We're like I said, we're a country of laborers, but we're not producing anything of consequence. We're not inventing anything anymore. Before black people was inventing, we was like the main inventors of everything that we see around us now. But then after a while, they stopped educating black people because we stopped educating ourselves, and we got integrated, and we wasn't learning the stuff. And then, systematic racism caused them not to teach us the things that we need to know so that we can develop new things and innovate new things. And we got focused on just getting a job. And that's why we're in the problem we're in now, because they want us to get back to work, but they're not giving us any incentives, and they're not teaching us anything of quality so that when we do go back to work, that we can get a job over the $9 or the $15 that they're gonna throw at us. It's a system where we have NSA and we got all kind of stuff, but then people are cyber attacking us, and it's just random people. It's not even a world power doing it. It's not like, okay, yes, it's some people from Russia, but at the end of the day, it's just like random people sitting in their basement or whatever. Because the amount of money that they're asking for is not
Five,
really,
$10 million.
yeah, it's not a lot of money. So it's just random people, and we can't even combat random people. So we in trouble. We are in serious trouble, and I hope they don't get the little money that I have in my bank, because I need all of that.
Right, I need that bag.
Lou, we supposed to be some of the smartest people in the world, Lou. I mean, United States, Lou. We can't even stop no damn ransomware attack, man. I feel sorry they ever infiltrate the nuclear place, man. We're gonna be through.
Yeah,
Lou, what we gonna do, Lou? What can we do?
man, that's a good one, man. I want to start out by saying, what's going on in the world today. I think it's one of them classic cases of plugging all the holes when the water's leaking. We're in a situation where we're plugging different holes. This COVID-19 put the whole world in a bind. So right now, these cyber attacks, if I could say, they're coming at the right time. They're coming at us when we're down, because we got so much other stuff that's going on, you know. And for them to be able to attack us at a vulnerable moment, it speaks volumes, because we're supposed to be the power of the world. You know, we want to power countries of the world, and we're not able to deal with cyber attacks or prevent them from happening. So for me, man, this is like, it's scary, man, because like you say, it's what level are they gonna go up to next?
Yeah,
it's scary, man. So I'm just like, we got to find a way to stop happening, because you realize Russia's involved. We send all the sanctions that we want. They just eating that. They like, look, we'll take the sanctions and we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, because you can't prevent us from doing what we're doing. So for me, man, it's like we gotta huddle up like football, man. We gotta huddle up and come up with a game plan. Seriously, man.
long as it ain't the Cowboys game plan, we be all right.
Oh my God.
Tony, go ahead. What can we do?
I don't know what we can do, because we're just being punks right now.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm calling it like it is.
You better
gave-
say that.
Gave them $5 million when they went into the oil pipeline, and now they're attacking the grocery, whatever. So come on, enough is enough, and they need to start put their. I'm going to be nice, Mama Peterson's listening. They need to put their grown girl panties on and do something about this for real. They can't keep letting this happen. Russia knows they have the upper hand, and they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, they sitting back laughing at us, saying y'all can't do nothing. Y'all worthless. You know what I mean? That's what they're not even afraid of America no more. You know what I mean? You know what? We got two smart young ladies on the panel that can probably do the damn job y'all hiring these people that making 300,000-400,000 to protect cybersecurity, and they ain't doing, excuse me, mom, piece of shit. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's just crazy, man. I mean, United States of America, I love my country, man, but we got to get better. We got to do better. Where them aliens at? Come get me, man, because this stuff is crazy, man. Man, but we just gonna go on to the next question, and the next question is: Florida became the 8th state to ban transgender women and girls from female sports. So listen to this carefully. My future home state of Florida was they right to ban the transgender women from competing in female sports, Melinda?
Okay, so you need to not go to Florida, because I already said we need to kick them into the ocean. But
cut them out.
Here's the thing. They're not competing on the same level. And I think it's just not trying to be controversial, because everybody has the right to determine whoever they want to be or whatever they want to be at any level in their lives. However, the level of competition is different between a male and a female. So at the end of the day, you have a physical man, whether you feel like a woman or not, I'm not questioning that. But you have a biological man going against a woman. And it's not an even playing field. And it never has been. A man is going to always outweigh or, outmaneuver in certain things a woman. So I think the ban is just, unless they're going to try to do something different, like, for example, how boxing has weight classes and they can match up the opponents one for one on everything, then okay, maybe. But at the end of the day, we can't do that. They don't have the resources, or I don't even think they want to do it. Mm-hmm. So no, they can't compete on the same level, because you wouldn't have a lightweight in boxing. And I don't know anything about sports, so that's why I don't even come on sports days. But you wouldn't have a lightweight competing on boxes with a heavyweight. You just wouldn't do it. So that's how I see it. It's not a even across the board matchup, and unless they're able to do that, I would have to go with the ban, because I'm not trying to take no punches to the face by no dude, and we boxing because he identifies himself as a woman.
All right, Tony, what you think?
Well, I'm sure I'm probably going to get hate mail after this one. I don't care.
Speak.
If you were born with a male body part, you're a male. If you were born with a female body part, you're a female. And this should not even come into question. I know it sounds discriminatory and I know it probably sounds heartless, but the LGBTQ community has really more freedoms than we do as heterosexual beings. And I'm sick of it. I mean, I'm not saying that they should not have any type of um, luxuries afforded to them, but the fact of the matter is, there's just some things that just need to stay in place. We've been doing it all this time. Let it be. I'm done.
Lou, what you think? I know you're going to tell them how it is, Lou, because I'm coming hard on this one.
Man, look, it ain't even fair. You look at the bottom line is, Tony and Melinda said it, a man is naturally stronger than a woman. I don't care if you put the makeup on, do whatever. And before I say that, I have nothing against what you want to do. If that's what you do, I'm cool with that. I'm saying that a man is naturally stronger than a woman. I just feel like man it's a good thing because it's unfair. It's unbalanced. A man is naturally stronger than a woman. You might see, well, he acts like a woman, but no, he still has man strength. And I think that's where the line draws at right there. You can't compete. You can't have a woman competing against a man. It's just unfair on all walks of life, man. It's just not fair. So I think for me, the ban is appropriate. And that's what I gotta say.
Yeah, I totally agree with all y'all. I totally agree. Transgenders, men cannot compete with women. You're a man. I don't care what you transfer to or whatever. I respect it, but I don't care. Women should compete against women, like Tony said. Men should compete against men. You know what I mean? If transgenders want to compete, maybe they need to have a transgender league.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because you cannot undercut these people who work so hard, training all these years to beat other women, and you got men coming in there beating you. I mean, that is so heartbreaking. You know what I mean? And that's just like I'm competing. I know somebody coming in and beating me and stuff like that, and I know it's a man. You know what I mean? Come on. You'll be heartbroken. You know what I mean? So if you want to compete, form a league. That's how I feel. No, I ain't got no problem, no discrimination, none of that stuff. You know what I mean? But Florida did right. Keep their ass out of there. You know what I mean? Go find your own league and compete against, transgenders. It's as simple as that. Case closed. Let's move on. Talk of overturning the election on new social platforms used by QAnon. QAnon followers spark fears of violence. Who I want Lou to start this. Lou, what do you think of QAnon people?
I'm a pass, man. I'm a pass, man.
That's why I started with my.
Yeah.
We'll let we know who want to talk about it. Go on, Melinda. Go on, get them.
Should we start spelling clown with a Q? Because these people, how did they become credible enough to be speaking on anything? They just, across the board, we letting too much stuff happen. That's why we not a superpower no more. We don't shut stuff down. When we hear foolishness, we're like, oh, everybody has the right. And that's where we're going wrong. Everybody has the right to say what they want to say. Everybody has the right to live how they want to live. That's where we're going wrong. You have the right if you're not impeding on my situation. Do you over there, but don't impede on my situation. So they are coming up with some crazy stuff, and we entertaining that by even listening to them and giving them positions in politics. They're making laws. These clowns with their clown ideas, and I don't have no problem calling them clowns. They're clowns, and they have clown ideas, and they're trying to interweave their clown ideas into our society, and we are allowing it. Because at some point, you're supposed to be able to shut stuff down. They're saying foolishness, and we are entertaining it as a country. We are entertaining that the new foolishness that they coming up with is that by summer the old president gonna move back into the White House and they're gonna tell the new president to move out. What kind of clown mess is that? And why we letting them, and at what point do we start actually instituting treason and saying that's treasonous? You going to jail. Back in the day, you used to die from treason. These people are doing way above and beyond. Then the other clown that is military retired, he's sitting here talking about we should have a coup.
The general.
That's treason.
Kelly.
Take everything he got from him that we, the country that he want to overthrow when he getting the monthly checks from disability from the military, and when he getting them military retirement checks, take them away from him since he want to be treason. And why don't you go to the country that you thought they was doing so well with the treasonous act? Live over there. Why don't they all go on Texas and Florida and we just cut off that part and kick them into the ocean? That's what we need to do. And then they can run their Florida and Texas the way they want to run it, and then leave us alone, because I am tired of Texas and Florida. And I don't know what you're doing moving to Florida, but these are the clowns you're going to be dealing with. These are the clowns with a Q, because I'm going to start spelling clown with a Q. These are the clowns that you are dealing with. They are doing too much, and we are allowing them to do too much. And at what point do we not get these politicians that are believing the foolishness out of there? Because you can go on your regular job talking foolishness that goes against the company policy and not get fired at the minimum. So how we allow this clown woman, because I ain't even giving them credibility to call them by name, the clown woman that she always talking crazy to everybody, and she gonna catch one from Cortez one of these days. Because at the end of the day, Cortez won. She's Hispanic, Latina. They don't play that. We got hot tempers. And secondly, she from New York. Thirdly, she from the bottom. She started at the bottom. Now she here. So she got those tendencies that she will, throw hands and lay hands on her at some point, because she pushing it. She is pushing it. And one of them days she gonna catch her on a bad day, and she gonna catch hands. And then and then she gonna get the white woman. Oh my God, what are you doing? And then fall down on the floor and try to sue after she been bothering her. She is stalking that woman. Alexandria Cortez don't have to put up with that. She should just lay hands on her, and that'll be over with. She come in knocking on her door. She in her mail slot talking to her. I'd have came out and gave her a 2-piece.
Not the 2-piece drink.
Tony, what do you think about QAnon message they sending around the world? The anger, the hate, the hostility.
Well, it all starts with Trump. They're his huge supporters. So I'm not surprised. And for these people to continue to get away with whatever they've gotten away with, and they say, just look at the last administration. He did it every day and got away with it. So we didn't do anything to stop him. There's nothing that we can do to stop these people now.
Lou, coming back.
Man, I don't give them my attention, because when you give people like that attention, it's just like you not condoning it, but you're giving them a platform. So for me, it's hard for me to respond to people like this. Just speak. Look at how they speak. They're huge Trump supporters. That right there is a red flag right there. It's enough for me to say, I don't like them. So with that being said, I'm just not gonna speak much on it, man, because it brings a side out of me that I don't want my mother to see.
All right, I got you back. You my co-host. I got you back.
That's right.
That's right. I got you back. Well, let me tell you about these people here. You know what I mean? They spread hate. They spread Trump words. You know what I mean? They don't like nothing. Everything they, like Melinda said, everything they say is just ignorant. You know what I mean? But this is America. This is America we live in. You know what I mean? And these people dying trying to get here. So y'all see what y'all gonna run into? The QAnon people who spreading hate in America. They don't want your ass here to begin with. So why are you getting on these boats trying to come to America? And they trying to put you in cages and send you back. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Until we rectify the system, the court system, the Democratic, the Republican system, to get some people out here that in these offices who really care about America. To get these crazy ass people out of these offices. I mean, I'm moving to a crazy state, Florida, but I hope that dude be gone by the time I get there. Oh God. But it is, you know what? They spreading hate. Hopefully, people just ignore them. You know what I mean? Their time will come. Everybody's times come. You know, maybe 2, 3 years from now, we'll forget all about, and Tony can move to Texas and stuff like that. So this next one is Melinda's favorite subject, but I'm going to go first because I want Melinda to go last. Man attacked Asian woman with cane on New York City subway, possibly hate crime. So it's another hate crime. American man attacked the Asian woman on New York subway system. Melinda told you guys last week, you better leave these Asian people alone because your ass going to jail. They just passed the bill. So you can fuck us up. You know what I mean? You could kick, stab, kill, shoot, kill the black people all into existence until we don't exist no more. You know what I mean? Y'all only been doing it for 800 million gazillion years. So, they passed a hate crime, and it is what it is. Leave these Asian people alone. For those who don't know, they pay the hate crime bill. Your ass gonna be doing 20, 30 years just for even touching Asians. But just come kill us. I mean, because they do it anyway, and you get away with it, or you might get 5 years. You know what I mean? The shit is just so ridiculous. It's just pitiful. Pitiful. You know what I mean? But you bet if the law's the law now, you know what I mean? That's one I think Biden and Kamala screwed the hell up. Go, Tony.
I agree with you. They need to leave these Asians alone. They put you away for lesser crimes, so I'm quite sure since this bill has been passed, you're going to get put in jail for a while, for a long time. So it's unfortunate that it's happening, but it happens to us all the time, and nothing's done about it. No one seems to care about it. So unfortunately, it's going to happen until they get caught, I guess.
All right, Lou, go ahead. What you think about it?
Man, it's a bittersweet question for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and answer it, man. Just leave the Asian people alone, man. That's a law in effect. You're gonna do time if you do what you do to an Asian person. It's a hate, so you're gonna pay for it. And the second part of that is I'm saying is when do we get ours? When do we get the hate crimes? And that's what makes it bittersweet for me because I mean the question is, what can we do? It's nothing that you really can do because a person's going to do what they want to do anyway. This person attacked that Asian person on the subway. They knew what the law was, but I guess they got so much hate in them that they're willing to go against that. So for me, it'll be just say, just don't do it. Just don't do it, man. Follow the law, man. There's laws in place now. You got to respect that. If not, going to jail. So that's how I feel about that one.
Exactly. Melinda?
Okay, so again, I made my stance clear on, but what happens when they do something to us? Let's say Asian get us wrong, and we don't have it on camera that we were protecting ourselves, or what that situation is. We going to jail. This law is not a just law. It's like you giving a blanket. Asians, not all, you got to have that non-sweeping statement, but Asians are not allies to black people. They never have been. They sell stuff in our communities, but they're not part of our communities. They don't contribute to our communities. If there's some black revitalization, they're not donating no money. They just come in, make their money, take it out of the community. Black dollars don't circulate in the black community because even when something is in the black community and you're paying money in, the Asians or the Arabs or any other culture that comes into our community to sell stuff, they sell it and then they take the money out of the community and then don't contribute to the community that they make money in. So that's a problem in itself. And then when we come into certain stores, and I'm not saying me because that's not my situation. There's no Asian stores nowhere around Fort Meade. But when we go into certain stores, we're not given the proper respect that is due us. And then they talk to you crazy. And then when you retaliate verbally, you're like, what are you talking about? And then they get aggressive. And then if you try to protect yourself with this law, you're going down for a hate crime. And if you don't have the forethought to record that situation, you're going for 20 years. They're going to throw the book at you because it's the law. They already want us in jail. They build jails for us. So we got to be smarter about this. We need to leave them alone and don't do no more slurs. If that was part of your vocabulary before, take it out. Call them bastards, call them something else. But don't say nothing Asian related because that's going to cost you time. This is a PSA announcement for you guys. Don't say no more racial slurs. Don't go in them people's places acting crazy. Leave them people alone. Leave their business alone. They're going to learn in a minute. Because if we decide we're not going to go in their business because it might be a risk for us, they might themselves decide, hey, this law is unjust. Because if all black people say, well, you know what? I can't risk my freedom trying to go into this Asian place that they are disrespectful on a regular basis.
Exactly.
So Lewis, I know how you like Big China. You might have to stay out of there.
Nah, they're not Asian.
Oh, okay.
They're American.
Okay. Well, don't go in there with no carryouts and no hair supply places. Because if you know you can't control your mouth, and if you one of them people that, if somebody say something to you saying something back, they're out of them places. Shop at Walmart because Walmart got hair care stuff now, or shop online because it's not worth you going to jail because somebody said something wrong to you and you said something else, they got aggressive. I seen 5 videos in the last few years where Asian people beat black women. It was in a nail salon because she wanted her money back. I saw videos where an Asian in a beauty supply place, somebody must have stole something, or it was said that they stole something. But whatever that wasn't worth that beating. And then they held them hostage in the store till the police came because they locked them inside. And then there was another one in another beauty supply where they was hitting her with a broom and all kind of stuff. So don't take that kind of mess. And then now, when you're trying to retaliate from or defend yourself from, you could go to jail. It's not worth it. Leave them people alone. Let them find their money somewhere else. And run them out. You know what? Run them out of our communities. They're not respectful. And if they're not providing any kind of money towards the problems in our community, because they can build a recreation center. They don't make enough money off of us. They can do some stuff to make the situation in the community better. They don't. They come in there, they sell their wares, and then they take their money out and they live somewhere else. So if you're not going to contribute to our community, don't sell nothing in our community.
Do y'all know why I keep putting these Asian questions in there? And it's not to tick Melinda off like I love doing anyway. I put them in there. Maybe these idiots are listening. Where the hell is our bill? So that's why I keep putting them in there. But let's go to the next one. The Supreme Court now will tackle the Voting Rights Act that was passed in Georgia, in Texas, and Florida. Will they reject them states that passed the bill, or leave it the way it is? Lou, what they gonna do, Lou? What they gonna pass it or reject it, or leave it the way it is?
They should pass it because this is crazy, man. This is their way of trying to get the office back, man. We all know. Everybody on this panel knows that. They seen how we came out and voted this clown up out of the office, and they scared. They scared that we're gonna get back to in 4 years or 2 years, whatever. In 4 years for the presidential, they know that we're gonna come out and vote. So they're trying to do any and everything that they can to keep you away from them booths. But guess what? We still got to come out and vote. I think they should pass it.
No, wait a minute, Lou. I think you misunderstand what I said. If they pass that bill, It will be for the Republicans that voted for the bill in
Oh
Georgia and
no,
Texas
no,
and
no, no!
Florida.
They should
So they
not.
should reject it.
Yeah,
All
they
right, Shay.
should reject
Okay.
it. I'm sorry. Yeah, they should
I
reject
understand.
it.
Go ahead.
Man, I had so much emotion. I'm sorry. But no, I just know that they scared. Y'all should reject it. I think for them, that's their way of getting the office back, even if it's shit. Because it was close. It was a close race. It wasn't very, very close, but it was close enough for them to know. Look, they coming up huge numbers, and they trying to do anything they can to prevent us from coming out. And they're targeting people, the normal work people who work 9 to 5. They targeting us. So for that, I think they should reject it, man.
Tony, so what do you think they should do? What do you think they're going to do?
I think it should be rejected. Like Lou said, they were fearful for the turnout that came out to get Trump out of office. And, I commend people like Stacey Abrams and these celebrities who went above and beyond to help the community come together to get registered and take people to the polls to vote. So they don't want to see another Democrat in office. So I'm hoping that it will be rejected, but I really don't know. This we as a country, we don't have it together. We say we're tired of certain things, but yet and still we keep repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. So we saw what we went through 4 years with Trump. I don't want to go through that again. So hopefully they'll make the right decision.
Melinda?
That whole bill is anti-American. You're supposed to be able to have the right to vote, and they're not supposed to make it hard for you to vote. And we fought hard to be able to vote before, and we're back in the same place. Why are we back in the same place? Well, what happened to the John Lewis bill? Why are we back in the same place? They had foolishness back in the day where you had to count jelly beans to try to be able to vote or be able to read and interpret the Constitution and able to be able to vote. Why are we doing that in 2021? And why are we still in this situation in 2021? And why do we have to renew our voter rights every, couple of decades to make sure that we as Black people that have, built this country are able to vote? And why are they constantly trying to take it away from us? What is going on? I'm against that bill, and they need to, it shouldn't even be up for vote. At some point, they have to have checks and balances. And somebody, at some level, we need a new level of government where they be like, no, that's some bullshit. I'm sorry. That's some messed up legislation you about to make. We not doing this. You take this and go on somewhere with it. The fact that it is getting written and being considered mean it failed on a whole bunch of levels already. We failed on a whole bunch of levels for it to be even an option for us to vote on or for them to sign it into law. These politicians have too much power, and it's the wrong ones with power and Democrats are some punks, and I'm sick of them. The last president, he wants something done, he just do it. He don't ask nobody. He don't get permission from nobody. We got to be looking around. We want partisan. Partisan what? They not working with us. They not taking care of our needs. Override everybody. And the president should have override that bill in every one of them states. It should have never came to pass because it's a racist bill. And we understand that. Everybody that's Black or of color understand that's a racist bill. How is it still trying to be even talked about or in effect? It's like it's disrespectful to Black people. We are getting disrespected all across the board. We're not protected by anything. Our lives are not protected. Our rights are not protected. Our homes. Look at now we're talking about Black Wall Street. I'm watching all these documentaries and it's hyping me up and I'm getting angry and I'm like, what? And then everybody's like, yeah, we're commemorating. Commemorating what? Give them people some money. And don't talk about making no museum because you're not giving the museum to the people. You're making a museum and then you charging people to come into the museum and the people that lost their land is not getting nothing. And give them back their land. They have a one block now when they had the whole town. And then people are making multi-millions on their land. What you need to do, one or two things. Give them back their land, all the descendants, because there's not that many because they murdered everybody. Give them back their land, or find out what is the equal value of what that land is worth today, and every business that's making money on there, pony up and divide that money up and give them to the descendants of those people. I don't care if it's the great-great-grand, because there's only 3 people left from that. So it's not that many that you have to even deal with. Give them some money or give them their land back, but stop with the bullshit about talking about we trying to do well and we're commemorating. Well, I don't want to remember shit. I want my money. And they deserve that money. They murdered them people and they put them in mass graves. And even the ones that survived, they put them in concentration camps and starved them. It's more worse than we even can think of. And I'm tired of them. Oh, we're going to commemorate. What you going to do? Stop commemorating and start reparating. Because everybody else gets paid except us.
Exactly. Oh, well,
I've been hyped up for 4 or 5 days because it's been like 5 documentaries that I've been watching about this stuff. And I am angry for these people. I have no descendants. I have nothing to gain by them getting money, but give them their money.
Exactly. I totally agree. They're trying to compress the vote. So eventually, so what they're saying is, black people, whoever's watching, you're lazy as fuck. You can't take no water to people because we know you're not going to go stand in them long lines. You know what I mean? So we're going to strip you to any little detail, any little thing we could take away from you guys. So, because we know how lazy you guys are. We know y'all really don't want this as much as we want it. So we're going to strip you from everything, dignity, respect. You know what I mean? We're going to pass all kinds of laws and see if we can get away with it. You know what I mean? Nah, you can't take no water to them. Let their mouth dry. You know what I mean? It's just so stupid. People can't see this stuff, man. This here should show you and tell you in 22, when the next vote, get out and vote. Get these racist ass people off these damn Republicans, the Senate and the House, so we can get some people, some new, fresh ideas. People who care about America. You know what I mean? Get them. Let's get them in there and get these people who really don't care out. These cool people, these cuckoo ass Mitch McConnells who look like he one little biscuit away from dying. I mean, these people like 90 damn years old. They need to get out of the office. You know what I mean? I know they're not gonna have an age bracket, but they need to, because some of the people, you know, they losing it. Everybody know it, but you know, it's all politics. They call it politics for a reason. You know what I mean? But like Melinda said, I hate to say, Democrats don't have no heart. They gutless. We wish we had a Democratic Trump, but cared about people. Not all the rest of that racist shit. You know what I mean? They can say whatever they want about Trump. He would light your ass up. You know what I mean? He talked the talk and walked the walk. But long if it was a Democratic Trump, you know what I mean? Not all the races, bring all the races out, all the hatred and all that stuff. But it's just crazy. Now in this bill, you know, hopefully, but remember, last week I told you the Supreme Court was bickering amongst each other anyway. So we don't know which way they're going to turn. If they were smart, they'll just reject it and let the stuff stay the way it is. But who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows what they're going to do? You know what I mean? But it's just crazy, man. You know, aliens coming. Believe that. I'm gone. Getting the hell out of here. So next question is, Democratic lawmaker request federal investigators into foster care journey of Ma'Khia Bryant, the girl that got shot by the police. You know, that was a foster care mom. Should foster care system be overridden, you know, broken down and started back from scratch? Tony?
Say the question again. I'm sorry.
The girl Ma'Khia
in Columbus.
Girl, the police shot her. Mm-hmm. She was foster care. So the federal courts, the lawmakers are ordering an investigation to the foster care journey that Ma'Khia has taken.
Okay.
So what should be done with the foster care system? Because there's a lot of shit going on with foster care kids now.
The fact of the matter is, I don't even know how to answer that. I don't. Because a lot of times these parents who are approved, most, I'm not saying all, some, they're only in it for the money. They don't really care about the well-being of the children. So I don't know what you can do to make it, to make it better for them. A lot of these kids who are in foster care, I'm sure they don't want to be there. They have no choice. And you're just hoping that whenever they do get linked up with a family, that it is for the right reasons, not because it's financial.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Melinda, what you think?
If done the right way, foster care can be a win-win for everybody. It can be a win-win, even financial, even if they got into a financial. My hope that when somebody decides to go into foster care, that they're going in with trying to provide care for children. Because at the end of the day, if the foster care system didn't exist, some children would be abused in their regular home, their biological homes. They had to be removed for a reason, and foster care provided a situation where these kids needed to come out. But sometimes they go into a worse situation in foster care. So under normal circumstances, foster care works. It helps the families, because let's say I'm not doing well financially and I got extra space. I can make money and I can provide, a decent living. I'm not that type of person to be having kids in the house. I'm not the kid friendly kind of person. But I appreciate anybody that do these things. I would never be an elementary teacher, junior high or high school, because kids are disrespectful to me. But anybody that do that, I take my hat off to them, because it needs to be done. But the thing is, the wrong people do it. I don't mind them making money off of this, because we know as parents, it take money to take care of a child. You need that money to create that environment. There's going to be a safe environment for these foster children. So if it's a win-win for everybody, if the government is giving these people money so that they can take care of these children, I'm all for it, because they deserve that. It is not easy to raise a child. They need clothes, they need food, and they need everything else. But the ones that abuse that system and don't buy anything for the kids, they're not feeding the kids, they're not taking care of them, and they're not protecting their emotional and their physical, because they're getting child molested in foster care. A lot of stuff is going on. I did a summer internship as a law intern at the DC Superior Court. The stuff I seen in there was terrible, for some of the reasons why they had to take children from their parents. And the idea is always to reunite the children. So the foster care system is supposed to be a temporary situation until the child's family get their act together. Where they end up in foster care forever is because the child's family didn't get their act together. Or in the situation that we talked about 2 questions ago, they didn't have the money to get themselves together, because they working 2-3 jobs, and then they got their children took because they had to leave them home alone so they can work these 2-3 jobs so that they can put a roof over this child's head and food in this child's mouth. So the whole system is messed up, and it's just I don't know how to, or how are we going to fix that, because it's a system that's necessary. It's supposed to protect the children, but biological parents aren't protecting the children, and the foster system is not protecting. So it all needs to be overhauled. But you can have a situation where a parent loves this child to the core and provides all that they can, but the only job they can get is on a minimum wage situation, and then they can't pay for this child, or they try to. I think there was a case where a mother was taken, the child was taken out of the home because the mother left the children alone so she can go to work. And I think it was another case where the mother left the children, parked close. It wasn't a summertime where the kids could die in the car, but she left the kids in the car so she can be able to also keep an eye on them while she worked, a 4 or 5 hour job. And then her kids were taken. But then there are cases where the kids are taken and put into foster care, and then the foster care family is abusing the kids, through physical abuse, sexual abuse, even emotional abuse. They calling them names, and they not. So kids aren't safe anywhere, pretty much. But we do need the foster care system
Yeah.
in place because it does from time to time protect the majority of people, of the children that are in there. There are outliers on situations where the kids were abused or whatever, but for the most part, the foster care system was set up to reunite the families after the family gets their act together, because that's how the superior courts on foster system work. They took them away. Social workers worked with the family to try to reunite the family.
Exactly. Lou, what you got on this?
I'm sorry, I was chimed out. What was the question again?
Um, the foster care system do you think it need to be changed, start from the bottom up? Because the girl Micaiah Bryant that got shot by the police, she was in foster care. That was a foster care mom. So they ordered investigation in her journey through foster care.
It needs to, I mean, if that's the case, it needs to be changed. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that goes on in foster care that we on the front don't know what's going on. I just feel like for me, there's a lot of stuff that goes on people don't know about. And I have personal experience with it, so it's one of those things where you have to go through it to kind of understand it. I just think it's some stuff that needs to be ironed out, some detailed stuff that need to be ironed out.
All right. Well, y'all come to the right person, because I was a social worker. I was CPS. I used to come to the house and get the kids. So I know everything that goes on with all this stuff. And it need to be tinkered with. Not changed because people need it. You know what I mean? These kids need to you got to put these kids in the right home. You know what I mean? But a lot of things going on with these kids, because you put them in the wrong home, like Melinda said, they're getting raped. You know what I mean? They're getting beaten. They don't mention none of that stuff. They're getting threatened. A lot of stuff goes on in foster care. So you gotta try your best as a social worker to get these people in right family. That's why when we go in there, we sit them down with the kids, got the notepad. You're writing everything down. You're asking kids questions. You're asking them questions for like 2-3 hours of trying to see if they are fit for this parent. And you try to put them in with two households, mother and father. You know what I mean? Because they get a better chance. But if you can't, you try to find a strong black parent that don't have no kids, or maybe one, not too many. That's just a foster care system. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? I used to take them to court, talk to the judge, let them know what's going on and stuff like that. It need to be revamped. Y'all be surprised how much money they get per kid. I'm not going to say it, but they get a lot of money. You know what I mean? So some people do it for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? But that's when I come in and take the kids, and then you be broke. So, you know what I mean? They need to revamp the system a little bit, overhaul it, educate. When you take the kids and put them in these households, we need to go there more often. You know what I mean? Because I think I only went there maybe once a month to check on the kids and see what's going on. They need a whole system in place where somebody can go there like twice a week to educate them on what's going on and see what's going on with the kids and make sure they're right for their home. So, it's good and it's bad, but it just needs to be tinkered with a little bit and revamp and hire more social workers. Because there's a lot of abandoned kids out there that don't have nowhere to go, that's stuck in foster care system. So, need to hire more social workers to get these kids there's some good people out here who want to do the right thing and get them in these homes. You know what I mean? But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. So, as y'all know, The last question to bring things up, make people laugh, make Melinda forget about the Asian people and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Make Tony forget about all these hard ass questions. Make Lou want to hit the camera and all this stuff, man. But this last question, y'all, I'm telling you, it's a humor question. All right, man. Look, a man killed his iguana. Got charged with animal cruelty for killing his own iguana. Right? He dragged and kicked the his 3 foot iguana. He wanted the judge to drop the charges because of the stand your ground law. So, Melinda, the judge rejected it, of course, but was he right? Did he stand his ground against his iguana? And I'm not making this up.
He must be a Trump supporter.
Mhm.
He gotta be. Because what kind of foolishness? But at the end of the day, that iguana got more rights than we do because we get killed and don't nobody take us to court. Mike Vick, he went to jail for a long time with dog fighting. But then when we do stuff, we just dead and they be like, we get a T-shirt that say R.I.P. with our face on it. So I don't know. I don't know if this was no happy question because I'm like some foolishness, and we don't even get that much protection. So,
Oh my
but
God.
yeah, it had to be a Trump supporter because what kind of mess is that? And it shows the foolishness that happens in court systems because how did that even become a case where it actually got seen in front of a judge when we can get
Animal
murdered
cruelty.
and it never comes to court, never comes to court. But this iguana had more rights and it came to court and he gonna get justice because ain't nobody gonna listen to him and no stand no ground foolishness.
Guess what? Only in America.
Only in
Tony, what
America.
do you think?
We are clowns.
Like I said, we will never have the respect from others when it comes to our lives, and animals do have more rights than a black person or a person of color. So this wasn't a light question, Lewis.
Right.
It was like
No,
This is
stand your
look,
ground because you killed the iguana.
but the
Get
fact
out of here.
because I mean, animals get treated better than a black person who has been killed. And the fact is, I'm even gonna go a little bit different. Bill Cosby was denied bail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this man is going to die in jail, and it's unfortunate because, yeah, I'm not saying he didn't,
Mm-hmm.
but come on, these white people
I'm gonna
who've
say
done
it
the
for you.
same
He
thing.
did.
The
No.
white, but the white people who have done the same crime, they're not even in jail. They weren't even put in jail at all. They're trying to make
Right.
a mockery out of this.
Yes, Lou. Iguana
man.
got better chance of getting rights than you do, Lou.
Tony,
I'm
Melinda, you
saying my
can't make
ground.
this stuff up.
You
Tony,
can't.
Melinda, you can't
Can't
make
make it
this
up.
stuff up, man. You can't make it up, man. It's sad in a way because if you think about it, a 3 foot iguana has more rights than us African Americans in our own country. So it's one of those bittersweet things, but at the end of the day, I'm not surprised. A 3 foot iguana, stand your ground rule. The fact that it even made it in court,
Exactly.
wasting taxpayers' money. So I got a thing we do on certain segments. I ball up a sheet of paper when Lewis give me some information that I don't want to hear. I ball it up and I shoot it right there in my trash can. So guess what? I'm about to ball this up and shoot it right
Hey
in my
man,
trash can, man. But
the
no,
last question always something to make you
yeah,
smile. Good thing.
it does. It does.
You kick, slap, beat the shit out of the iguana.
Right.
You know what I mean? They
Right.
charge with an iguana now. They charge with animal cruelty. You take me to court, say, Your Honor, the iguana was attacking me. I wanted to stand my ground. So why
Right.
can't I get to stand my ground, Lord?
Right. Right.
But
And
the
before we-
daggone iguana can't even testify.
Right.
So of course the judge
And we
told
can
the man
testify
no.
and have a camera and still don't get no respect.
So of course the judge told the man no, you cannot get no stand your ground law for no damn iguana, and locked his ass up for animal cruelty. I mean, you can't only in America. Remember, people, Cuba, y'all trying to get here. This was going to happen. America,
I'm trying
man.
to leave.
Yeah.
What I say the last 3 times, where them aliens at? Just come get me. Long as Diana there.
No, I ain't trying to get probed. Don't.
Long as Diana there on V. Hey, Lou, you remember Diana on V?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
God, she was sexy. Wasn't she?
Yeah, she can get it. She can get it.
Oh,
She can
yes.
get it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Mom. She can get it. She can get it. She can get it. Hey, but look, before we go, man, I wanted to speak to Melinda on what she said earlier, and I want you to think that you're by yourself. I watched a lot of documentaries on what's going on with the Black Wall Street, so that's why certain questions that I kind of passed on because I felt the emotion building up, and it like when one of the questions you asked me, Louis, before I even understood it, I went in on it, and that was because I had so much emotion built up from watching these documentaries on how they treated us, how we was promising, we were moving up in life, man. We had hospitals, business, we were
thriving.
moving up, yeah. And to have that burnt down, man, from the top to bottom, it just hit emotion in me, man. It made me feel like I couldn't wait. I was talking to Tony off air earlier, and I just had a level of anxiety to get on air and just express how I feel. So it might have came off a little wrong today, but the emotion was high, man.
No, it was just.
It was
It was
Hey,
just.
man,
It was.
it is
Yeah.
what it is. We all human, right?
They did airstrikes. They did airstrikes on that town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I work for a law firm where we have that case for the Tulsa people who were affected. So we're trying to do the right thing and get them the justice that they deserve.
all
I
right.
will be praying for you and with y'all on a regular.
That's right.
So there y'all go. Only on the Rebuttal Entertainment you get the news, what happening in America, what's going on, our own opinions, right or wrong. That's how we feel about the situation. There's a lot of stuff going on. You see people get emotional sometimes and stuff like that, but it's all fair. People just feel America going in the wrong direction. Hopefully we can turn it around and, get things going the way it was when Bill Clinton was president. You know what I mean? It was a little bit better. You know what I mean? The first black president, Bill Clinton. You know what I mean? But I don't care.
You gonna stop that?
Getting mad, I don't care. I can mute all y'all, so it doesn't even matter. But thank y'all for coming in. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next Wednesday.
Bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
peace, ladies.
You know I got it. If you give it to me, I'll give it to you. And I know what you want.